Welcome to the video, and this is looking at the best time of day to trade the foreign exchange markets. Now, um, the foreign exchange market is obviously a 24 hours, 5 day a week market. So it's open constantly during those days. And obviously, because the foreign exchange market crosses the whole world, different countries are trading the financial markets at different times. So there clearly are better times to trade than others. Now, the general rule is the best time of days to trade is when you've got the most market participants around, because this helps with volatility. It helps to make price move. It also helps in terms of getting your orders filled and the spreads that your broker will offer. There's certain times when your broker will, offer you much larger, wider spreads. It's not only to do with the currency pair you're trading. Obviously, the more exotic a currency pair, the higher the spread. But it's also to do with the time of day you're trading. The more traders, the more orders, the more competitive the spreads are. So let's have a look. Okay, so let's look from March to April to October, November. Now, there's two different time zones you've got to look at, really. Not time zones, but there's two different parts of the year. Firstly, you need to look March, April to October, November, because many countries have daylight saving time, so they adjust their hours to allow for more daylight during the day, so more practical for people to live. So this is looking first of all March, April through to October, November. I'm making this video in July, so that's why it's the first one I've started with. So here's the major sessions. You've got Sydney, and I'm going to do this in GMT time. Opens 9 o'clock GMT time, closes 6 o'clock GMT. That's 7 a.m. British summer time. You've got the Tokyo session, opens midnight GMT, closes 9 a.m. GMT. You've got the London session, and that opens 7 o'clock GMT, closing at 3 o'clock. Sorry, yep, closes 3 o'clock GMT. That's correct, because it's 8 o'clock British summer time, 4 o'clock British summer time. And then your New York session, which is 12 o'clock GMT through to 9 o'clock GMT. Now, obviously, this is British summertime, which is GMT plus 1. This is GMT, and this is Eastern Standard Time. So you should be able to work out your time zone from those three. Best time of days to trade. Look, it's where the sessions overlap. Tokyo, London, and London, New York, and there's a little bit of overlap from New York to Sydney. And arguably, there's Sydney, Tokyo, London session that's sort of overlap there. I know it's a little bit before the London, but some guys are getting to their desks early. So they're the two good times of day to trade, especially intraday. So if you're looking at getting an intraday move, you see a little, setup that comes on the 15-minute chart, and you see it's looking really good, and there you are, 7 o'clock GMT. Well, that's probably, 2 hours, you'll probably be done. This happens to me fairly regularly. I go down to the charts. I get up at 6 o'clock British summer time. I spend the first hour analysing the markets. And sometimes if I see a little intraday setup, I'll put it on. And usually by the time I've had my breakfast, come back to my desk, oh, trade's done. So good little time there. I like it. Again, and then this is October, November through to March and April. And there's obviously no British summertime, because at the time in Britain, where I'm from, it reverts back to GMT. So again, you can see, look, the time when the markets are overlapping, London, New York, and Tokyo, London. Now, I will just say something, and it's this, is I often notice, like, although technically you see that the Tokyo, London session overlap here for this little hour, okay? And for the moment, you get more of an overlap. But I just noticed that if you're sort of in a couple of hours before, so I said placing my trades about 7 a.m., that's a very good time. You tend to, by the time you get to your desk, sometimes 8 or 9 p.m., sometimes a big chunk of a move has gone. So I would say, look, start looking at, well, I get to my desk 6 a.m. and I think I get a little edge there because by the time I've done my analysis, 7 a.m., I know where I'm going, and sometimes I can get into to a move early. So I would just say, look, this is a good time. Little tip. That's just an experiential tip. I haven't got any evidence to show that. It's just what I've noticed. And I often think, yeah, well, I'm glad I'm in there because I got that move early. And the other thing to mention, of course, is when the London traders kind of go out for lunch, and when the New York traders are getting into their desk, although like technically that is an overlap, it can be a little lull time because you'll see like if a move's been made in the London session, London traders take their profit and price can retrace. So if you're in profit, a decent move at around 12 o'clock GMT, just take it off the table, especially if it's an intraday chart because the London traders are going to be taking their profit so they can say I've booked profit before lunch. It's not much more relaxing, isn't it, to go out to lunch saying I've booked, I'm 0.3% up on the account, I might have a 2 hour lunch. So be aware of that. Fridays, be aware that traders will be taking profit at the end of the week. Again, you want to book profit for the week, so you take your profit, so you can see price reverse and retrace. So just be wary of taking any trades into a Friday close. It's not really to be recommended at all when you're going to be hit with wider spreads at the end of the session as well. So be aware of that. So it's not only times a day, it's also times of the week. And obviously the Sunday open, price is a lot more volatile. You're going to hit wider spreads and things are going to move for no apparent reason just because there's a lack of orders. And so price moves around a lot more quickly. Guys, I hope that helps. I've done these little slides for you to help visualize. You can take a screenshot of these, print them out. I just quickly jotted them together myself. Hope that helps and just tells you a little bit more about best times of day to trade. Cheers, guys. Bye.